How's it going, folks? Today we're going to talk a little bit about Section C of the Assessment in the Major or Program Self-Study. Section C deals with a description of the faculty. What we're going to do today is look through Sections C1 through C9, and I'll give you folks some tips on how to get the basic scaffolding established so that you can go back and revisit it and add a little bit more of the narrative depth and analysis that they're looking for in this section. But let's get started with the easiest components of this section first. You'll notice the first thing that they're asking for here is the faculty summary, and they're looking for the number of faculty assigned to the program, credentials, years of experience. Those three variables are the most important ones, and they can easily be captured with CV from the faculty within the program. Now, the most kosher way to approach this is to ask the faculty for their CVs for the assessment in the major or program self-study. That way they're aware of the fact that their CV is being shared with several external evaluators, usually 2 in total, and will also potentially be viewed by administration on campus, and maybe some other faculty members involved in the self-study process. That'll cover credentials, the CV should. Years of experience in the industry and in teaching are usually included in the CV as well, and the number of faculty assigned to the program will be implied through that process. So you will want to add a narrative component, but the first step, of course, is collecting the CVs. You'll check this section out once you get them. You're going to go to the attachments section, and you can just drag and drop the CVs right from your desktop into the upload area. You'll want to select upload from computer and drag and drop the files here. I'll just give you an example of what this is going to look like. And you can start upload here, or you can upload and close here. Once that's completed, that'll upload and close, and all of your attachments will be there. You can save and return at that point, which will take you back to this area with the attachments. After that, you'll want to begin the narrative component of this, where you actually talk a little bit about the number of faculty. Oh, that was helpful. Maybe a little bit about teaching responsibilities. You could add the combined years of experience among the faculty in the program, include caveats if faculty teach in multiple programs, etc. And you should be all set to go. You can save and return that, and you have then a nice start to subsection C1. You can check that in and you're all set to go. When it comes to hiring procedures, there's really 2 places that you need to look. So you can check out the section, and you can see I've already attached the new hiring process link right here. All I did was use the search bar, search for hiring, went to the new hiring process, and boom, I copied and pasted the link into the link area. You can name the link here, add the link here, save and return, and you're all set to go. Now, the additional place that you're going to want to look into is the bylaws for your department to see if there are additional caveats that need to be included here. If there are, you're going to want to add those as well. You can add those as an attachment. You can add them as text and image. You can add it as a link if the bylaws for your department are available online. That's a great way to get started on this. You can also add a narrative component to this, just guiding the external evaluators to the link or links that you've included here. But for the most part, these are self-explanatory. So the narrative really only needs to help the external reviewers navigate to the appropriate documents. When it comes to teaching loads, you can see I've already added a text and image section here. And the text and image section really just breaks down the various areas that you need to address. Full-time faculty, they're teaching a 4-4 load traditionally. Adjuncts, typically you're teaching 1 to 3 courses, right? You could add potentially that 2 courses gets adjuncts at the healthcare level. They can get healthcare, right? Health insurance. Lecturers, of course, are 5-5. Some are 4-4 with advising responsibilities. You'd want to break that down for your department if possible. You should talk a little bit about course caps, how they differ between online and face-to-face. For some of my areas, we have a cap of 35, if I'm not mistaken, in the face-to-face sections and 30 in the online sections. Writing intensive caps, of course, are capped at 25. And then there are lab caps. Now, there are sometimes distinctions in capping just based upon the room that you're in. For example, if you're always teaching in a specific room in Payson that only allows for 28 students, but the cap in the course on registrar's page is 35, you can add those kinds of details in here as well. Or if the lab caps are different among different classes because of safety concerns, which is sometimes the case in Canino, those are the kinds of things that you're going to want to talk about here as well. This gives us a sense of the teaching loads in terms of the faculty to student ratio. It gives us information about how much faculty are teaching in terms of course load, prep time, all that kind of stuff, and really gives the external evaluator a chance to determine whether or not faculty are being loaded in an equitable manner. And that is something that a lot of external evaluators are very concerned with. And it's a great way to get some advocacy from outside of the campus infrastructure. So going into as much detail as possible in this area is very beneficial to you for the sake of the external review. When it comes to evaluation and promotion, typically you're going to be looking at the rank matrices, right? And they're available on the campus website, but you're going to want to attach them as well. And you can attach them either as a link or you can attach them as attachments. Now remember, it's a good idea to include 2 different rank matrices. Why is this Microsoft Word? Okay. So hypothetically what I did was I went for the history rank matrix, which is discipline specific, but I thought also it would be a good idea to include the lecturer rank matrices if you have lecturers in your area, and also the tenure track rank matrices. So in total, this area could have up to 3 of the rank matrices. Now, if you're a program, I know a lot of people will ask the question, should we include the rank matrices for the general education courses in our program? No, you should not. That's handled in a different area. That's all vetted through alternative venues, so you don't need to worry about that here. Discipline specific or program specific, and the general lecturer, if you have lecturers in your program, and the general full-time tenure track rank matrix should suffice here. And of course, you'll want to also include some narrative components in this area as well. Another thing that you may want to look into is the, personnel handbook. See if we can dredge that up really quickly. So if we come in here and we Control F and we look for promotion, we can see that reappointment, continuing appointment, and the promotion process is included on page 13. Now, I would say you can easily link to this as well if you'd like to. It's available on the website. But you may also want to consider including actual text to kind of bolster the narrative component of this area by copying and pasting the faculty handbook policies and procedures right here. And how do you do that? You go to text and image, of course, and you can just erase whatever is included there currently, and you can paste in the specific caveats and then add at the end that this is available in the faculty handbook starting on page, it looks like 13, right? So that'll come in very handy for you. Save and return. I'm going to cancel in this case because I'm just giving you an example. And then you have your rank matrices, and you actually have the process by which evaluation and promotion is conducted. Now you can, of course, look into, again, your departmental bylaws and see if there are additional caveats, but of course the faculty handbook and the institutional policies usually supersede those established in bylaws if there is a disparity between the two or an issue between the two, so that's good to be mindful of as well. Now these parts are kind of interesting because they actually cover each of the individual components of the rank matrices. Now we're already at 10 minutes right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover these in a subsequent video, and we'll go from there.